नमस्कार दोस्तों और जय हिंद। आप सभी को स्वागत है इन माय चैनल 1971 वॉर बुक सीरीज। तो दोस्तों, आज हम एक बंगाली इंडियन एयरफोर्स के पायलट को हमारे प्रोग्राम में लाने वाले हैं, जो सर्व किए थे एज अ फ्लाइंग ऑफिसर इन द 37th स्क्वाड्रन ऑफ द इंडियन एयरफोर्स. He was an expert hawker hunter pilot and was commissioned in the Indian Air Force just a few years before the outbreak of the Bangladesh War. His father was working in the Indian Railways before the partitions, and actually he was born in Dhaka itself. Later, after the partitions, his family shifted to India and he grew up in West Bengal, and uske baad he joined the Indian Air Force. And his squadron, the 37th Squadron, was under the command of Wing Commander Swarup Krishna Kaul, जिनको महावीर चक्र से सम्मानित किया गया था, और उसके साथ उनके स्क्वाड्रन ने 2 पायलट्स गवा दिए थे फॉर द लिबरेशन ऑफ बांग्लादेश. So let's welcome today directly to hear about the story of the hawker hunters over the skies of Dhaka. Let's welcome Squadron Leader Joy Bhaumick to our program today.
I would like to invite you to this program, sir, and thank you so much for attending my video call and finally talking about your experiences. So I would like to know a brief about how you joined the Indian Air Force and how you started your career there. If you could talk a bit about that, sir.
Well, I joined the Air Force, I think around 64. It was basically after the 62 war, okay, and there was a major drive to, induct people. Right. And it was a series of interviews and selection at Mysore, a pilot aptitude battery test and what have you, and then I was done.
Mm-hmm. And then you got into the flying branch, sir?
Yes, I was in the flying branch, okay, right from the beginning.
Okay, and so after that you must have joined as a pilot officer, right, sir? And this was in which squadron?
No, you join as a cadet. Flight cadet.
Okay. Flight
cadet, and it's a long haul to become a pilot officer, because I think half the guys don't make it. They're suspended.
Okay.
So only about 50% made it.
Okay. So after you were commissioned in the Indian Air Force, which squadron did you join, sir?
After I was commissioned, I joined number 220 squadron, which was based in Pune.
Okay. And this was in which year exactly? 1965?
67. I was commissioned on 4th June 67.
Okay, 4th June 67. So after that, you must have become a flying officer, and it was in the same squadron or another squadron, sir?
No, I went from there. I was posted to 8th squadron, number 8, which was in Ambala.
Ambala. And yeah, you must have been flying which aircraft, sir? Because at that time, I think Indian Air Force was getting new aircrafts. Pretty much.
Yeah, that's right. In Pune, it was Vampires.
Vampires, okay.
Yeah, and in Ambala we had Misters, but there was not much flying there. We were posted out quite quickly.
If you could talk about
From
that.
there, I was posted to 37th Squadron. 37th Squadron, which was in Hashimara. Hashimara, and I was there for about about 4 or 5 years.
4 to 5
Very
years.
long stint.
And which aircraft did you master in flying, sir? If you could talk a bit about that.
Well, I flew the Hunter a lot.
Okay.
Which was in Hashimara.
Is the plane Hawker Hunter or some other variants?
No, there are variants. So we were flying all the variants. So we were basically on Hunters.
Okay.
And from there I went on to Sukhois, which was in Ambala. No, it was in Halwara. But I didn't.
Right, sir?
Yeah, that's right. And that's it. And I came back to Hunters for a while. Then I lost my medical category and I left at the age of 36 or 37. So that's pretty early.
Okay. So, and in 1971, you were posted in the 37th Squadron.
Yes.
Okay. And you were flying Hawker Hunters, right, sir?
Yeah. That's right.
Okay. So before the 1971 war, like how it was for you, sir? Because you must have been training or doing exercises with the army, something like that.
Not with the army as much, but yeah, we were training and yeah, like you normally train when you're in a squadron. It's all the time you're upgrading yourself, upgrading your skills. You're doing courses and all that. And if you talk about the 71 war, the our action started somewhere around 9 months before the 71 war,
Okay.
because there was a hype that there was going to be something, and a couple of times there were some false alarms also. We were doing ORP. You're aware of ORP?
ORP. No, sir. Could you talk a bit
Okay,
more about it?
ORP stands for Operational Readiness Platform.
Okay.
Okay, ORP basically is a couple of aircraft, or there's a place, or rather fortified place where the aircraft are kept, and the pilots are also there. And it's a very important function during any war. Uh, and what you do is what you are on standby to take off.
Right.
The aircraft are armed fully,
Mm-hmm.
and you're because where you are located, and then you have, when you're scrambled. Have you heard of scrambled?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when you're scrambled, that's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get airborne, and that airborne happens in about under 2 minutes, which includes running to the aircraft, getting strapped up,
Mm-hmm.
starting, which takes up 30 seconds or so. The takeoff, roll, and everything, all done in about less than 2 minutes. You're
Right.
up, ready for action, fully armed. So
Okay.
this was something we were doing for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
We were doing for a long time. In between, I think there were some repairs to the runway, and we had to go to Guwahati, and we did the same thing from there. But basically, our base was Hashimara, and we were back in Hashimara in time for the war. And moreover, what happened was, since this hype was there about something going to happen any day, that we did not start the war, and the one reason was because I know it was imminent anytime. Everyone felt it was imminent. It would happen anytime.
Right.
But we held our guns,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the reasons was that during the monsoons, as you may have heard Manik Shaw
Mm-hmm.
say, that it is difficult for the army to conduct an operation of that magnitude.
Right.
So he told, I think you've seen his movie also in other interviews, and he told Indira Gandhi that, I'm sorry, I mean, I can't go now. I'll choose my time. Anyway, that apart. So in 71, what we were doing, we were fully armed once again,
And at that time, sir,
and
you were a flight lieutenant, right, sir?
no, flying
Flying
officer.
officer. Flying officer. Okay.
Yeah, flying officer. Those days, promotion didn't happen too quickly, and these are time bound. So I
Mm-hmm.
was a flying officer. And for 9 months, we flew continuously from dawn. That is about, in the east, the sun rises very early. So maybe 4:30 in the morning till sunset, half an hour after sunset. That's how ORPs work.
Mm-hmm.
And what we used to carry out was an armed area patrol,
Okay.
fully armed aircraft, and throughout the day, there were kind of, well, you could say relay or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and there were other stations in the east were also taking part. That these aircraft did a preordained route,
Okay.
and it was a place called, I think, in Meghalaya.
Meghalaya.
From there, yeah, we turned back.
Mm-hmm.
The name of the place is Tura,
Tura.
Tura,
Tura. Yeah.
Tura.
That
Yeah,
was a
so we
military training ground as well. Very big place.
possibly nice training ground, I can tell you. So we used to go right up to Tura and come back.
Right.
But the whole idea was that if we got the word go, we would be over our targets in a few minutes, maybe
Mm-hmm.
5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. And this was a continuous process. It wasn't that you one chap flew and that was the end. morning till evening till for 9 months we did that. We
Okay.
did that. And when the war did happen, as you know, in the West,
Mm-hmm.
in many ways we were relieved. Because
Right.
that business of getting up at 4 o'clock, which is fine, I mean, you're ready, everything, but relieved that, okay, now there's action.
Right.
So we took off as planned,
This was
and
from
about
4th December, right, sir?
4th December, we took off as planned, and the whole plan was to decimate their air power,
Okay.
which means to neutralize their
Mm-hmm.
aircraft, fighter aircraft. And they were all concentrated in Tesgaon, in Dhaka.
Tesla. Right.
Okay,
That was
so
the
this,
main air base, I guess, Pakistan Air
yeah,
Force.
only one. They had never had too many. I mean, they had everything else, but fighters were there
Mm-hmm.
in large numbers. So we attacked. I mean, carried
I
out
mean,
these
this was the
missions.
first mission, sir, I guess. So it was directly on Tesgaon Air Base, right, sir?
Yes, and you might be interested to know that I was born in Dhaka.
Oh,
Just by the, you
which
know,
place, sir? I mean, Dhaka, I've been there,
I
but
don't. I have no clue. I have no clue. I was just born. That's all. A technicality. I've never
okay.
been there. I want to go, but I've never been there. But I am a Dhaka born this thing, and my first mission was Dhaka.
Acha, acha,
It's
acha.
just a little.
No, I
So
thought, sir, you
anyway,
were, I mean, completely from this side. I mean, you were, I mean, I thought that from your surname, that Joy Bhaumick, so you must be from here completely.
I don't know. My father was in the railways, so he also had a transferable job.
Okay.
What he did there, I have no idea. Too small. After that, I was here. I was born in '46.
Acha, acha.
So I've never gone back. I don't know anything. I mean, I've heard little stories here and there, but it made no sense
Okay.
to me. But I did want to go back there, but somehow didn't happen. So we were now hitting Dhaka, this airbase,
Mm-hmm.
intervals of 2 minutes.
Okay.
One sortie from our squadron, one sortie from the other squadron, one sortie from Tezpur,
Right,
one
right.
sortie from Guwahati, and just a continuous process.
Mm-hmm.
And well, to look back, it didn't go off too well for us. We lost two pilots and two aircraft within the first what 10 minutes of the war.
First 10 minutes, I think, on the 4th of December.
4th of December, first 10 minutes. By the time 5 o'clock or 5:30 or whatever it was, we had lost two pilots.
Could you
One
tell
was,
the names, sir?
yeah, sure. Samantha,
Like,
who was a
next time.
senior, he was squad leader.
Okay.
He
Squadron
was a
leader.
senior flight commander.
Okay.
He was a senior flight commander.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, next guy after the commanding officer.
Okay.
So, and the other chap was Flight Lieutenant Konde,
Okay.
and he was on attachment from training command. They were, instructors carrying out instructional duties at one of the academies.
Mm-hmm.
And for this war, they were all attached to various squadrons. He also lost his life, and we lost the aircraft.
And this was in Tesgaon itself, sir, right?
Yeah, or thereabouts, before, after, whatever.
I mean, from
So they
anti-aircraft
lost.
firing or sir, sabers?
Mainly, it's anti-aircraft, anti-aircraft, or maybe. You see, question is anti-aircraft. We presume. You see, when he was actually shot down,
Mm-hmm.
not many saw it or was a witness, or I mean, you followed your RT natter and all that. So from that, we understand it could be this thing, and we know that Samantha was trying to. I think he was hit, and he was trying to make it to Kumbhigram or something, from that side, going from Hashimara, and from Dhaka, he was trying to make it, I mean, a short distance,
Okay.
and Samantha's aircraft was found many months later with identity card, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Konde, I not fully aware of it, and Konde also lost his life. But we didn't lose anybody after that.
Mm-hmm.
So I can tell you the morale wouldn't have been very high at that stage. But when you're flying, you don't think of too much other things. But yes, it did
Right, right.
affect the morale, but that was it. There was another squadron in Hashimara, 17th Squadron, which was commanded by Wing Commander Chatrat. So they never lost any aircraft. But they did, one aircraft was shot down over Bangladesh, over East Pakistan. But you might be interested to know that our helicopters went and picked him up and brought him back. Thanks to a little help from the Mukti Bahini. So anyway, so this chap was pulled out from East Pakistan, and my commanding officer was Wing Commander Kaul.
Sort of Krishna Kaul.
Yeah, Supi Kaul, who went on to become the Chief of Air Staff. That is Supi Kaul. And he also got picked up a Mahavir Chakra.
Mahavir Chakra, right.
Yeah, he picked up a Mahavir Chakra, and another chap in our squadron, flying officer Masand, he picked up a Veer Chakra. Yeah, they're both around. I'm in touch with them sometimes. And in 17th Squadron, there was a chap called Neb, flying officer. He was the flying officer, must have been flight lieutenant. It was the second VRC. He picked up the first VRC in 65.
65.
So this is VRC and bar, as you may know.
Wing Commander Vinod Kumar Neb, right, sir? That flying officer.
No, he was flight lieutenant.
Flight lieutenant. He passed away very recently, few months
back.
back.
Neb and Chatrat both have passed away.
Right. Even the Kaul is not there, so yeah.
Yeah, Kaul is there in Gurgaon. I meet him once in a while. Oh yes, he's 90 plus, but he keeps in touch. He calls me also sometimes.
Okay.
You know, the bonding of the fighter pilot, although I left so early.
Right.
And Masand is in Indore. He's there, very much there. And he picked up a VRC. This is as far as casualties and decorations are concerned for Hashimara.
Right.
There was also a helicopter unit 111, which was commanded by Cariappa. Have you heard of Cariappa?
He's the, I think, relative of, Field Marshal Cariappa, I guess.
Yeah, he was the son of Cariappa.
Right.
He was Cariappa's son. He was a good friend of mine. We have, this year, was it last year, 50 years, we had a very nice reunion in Guwahati, Eastern Air Command. All these chaps who were in Eastern Air Command, who were still around, because we were bachas. So, not many are around because most of them have gone.
Yeah.
So, there a lovely reunion. The Cariappa and Masand and a lot of other. Chick Paralkar were also there. And nice to meet and catch up.
Sir, one more thing. If you could talk a bit about your experiences of flying and, attacking and everything, sir. Like your experience in the war.
See, I'll tell you, my first mission, as I said, was we took off at about 4:35. I was a flying officer, so I had to be number 2. No, I did a few leads, of course. Chap called Mascarenas, he's no more. So we were 2 aircraft formation. After a couple of 4 aircraft formation, to have the greater impact. So we went to Dhaka and we pulled up for the attack. And I remember while running in, we fly in low, as you know, to avoid radar.
Okay.
And I saw these little white puffs, around us while we were from Turra when we were running in. And it didn't strike me initially. I said, hey, it looks nice, little puffs, in the sky. Till I realized they are anti-aircraft fire. They are little puffs. That apart. So we went and struck Dhaka. We didn't strike Dhaka, actually. We were bounced by sabers. And my leader decided to hard turn, and maybe that is the right thing to do. But also you might want to know that when we were doing strikes over Dhaka, which was a primary target, and it was winter, as you know, December. So the other striking thing was, the sky was quite bleak, foggy and all that. So that apart, so that was the first experience. And then to rest is history, which I flew right till the end. And And basically, what happened in 71, which I'm sure you must be knowing, is that we were able to achieve air superiority in 2 3 days.
Right.
Okay, 2 3 days time. So after that, the army had the luxury of calling upon uh, fighters for their ground support,
Right. Right.
and that I think made a huge difference. It also made a difference in Kargil, as you may have come to know. That today, if I mean, ground support for the army is a luxury.
Right.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Yeah, fine, it's very effective, but you don't have the resources to give them the kind of anyone and everyone on the ground wants aircraft.
Mm-hmm.
And so that makes hundreds of demands. So you can't meet them.
Right.
Even US also doesn't have that luxury with all the endless amount of resources. So, but here on the other hand, since we had achieved air superiority, that became somewhat possible. They asked and we were there.
Yeah.
We were ready to go. We were ready to go. We were just sitting with our ma'am ready. We didn't waste any time. We just took off.
I mean, you must have given some close air support as well.
Yeah, all close air support. All close air support.
Okay. And this
You
were
know, to
in
the
which
army.
places, sir? Inside East Pakistan?
All, I mean, mainly this side. So, unfortunately, I had a clip,
Mm-hmm.
photo clip of me striking a train at a place called Jamalpur.
Jamalpur, acha, acha. 95
Ah,
Mountain Brigade was there, I guess.
oh, you picked up all your gen. So Jamalpur, where you can see in the strike the rockets going and the rockets hitting.
Right,
The
right,
film,
right. I mean,
the trains and all that. And I had a lot of
you
memorabilia,
were
but
there, I mean,
unfortunately,
in that attack.
yeah, I was part from my camera, gun camera,
Okay. And did
and
you take part
I
in, sir, any attack on a place called Kamalpur?
Kamalpur. I don't
Border
because
outpost?
all there were a lot of names floating around. So don't ask me names too many. But you know what happened to this? There was one air marshal who was posted here.
Right, right.
So I used to meet him we became quite friendly. He said, Joy, give me, he saw that. He said, I'm writing a book or something. I'll give it back. He hasn't given it back.
Acha, acha.
And he's posted out. So I think I've lost that.
Because, sir,
And,
you must be knowing Wing Commander Clare, Indian Air Force, 22 NAC,
yeah, of course.
Squadron.
Yeah.
His
Yeah.
father was the brigade commander, Brigadier Clare, who was in actually Jamalpur, and he was requesting for all these air support in Jamalpur on 31 Balu.
Everyone was requesting. There were hundreds of requests. But then you know what happened? There was a system we had. So where whoever was in charge of that
Right.
part, he decided the prioritize. But by and large, a lot of people got support. I didn't know which one he commanded, but yeah, he was there. And another bit of memorabilia which I have or had, again, he only took it and I've never seen it again, is something which you must have got hold of from Wing Commander Paralkar. Currency note of Pakistan. We used to carry cash, carry Pakistani currency with us
Right, right, right.
in case you were shot down.
Right. Pakistani currency, a Bangladeshi flag, and like RD
You're right.
revolver with 6 bullets, I guess.
Yeah, revolver also. And revolver we never carried. And that is on our own, not because anyone told us. Because we said if you lose this very thing, you will be in trouble.
Right.
Loss of revolver. So ওটাকে আমরা নিয়ে যেতাম না, মানে আমরাই ওটা ঠিক করেছি, nobody knew. So, but the cash we took, and then after the war, that cash was liberally, distributed to friends and girlfriends whom we knew, to kind of show off or whatever. And then finally, when after a few days, when the flight commander is in charge of all this, he said, "Where's the cash?" He said, "Sir, we don't have." What do you mean you don't have? I'll make sure you guys are going to. But anyway, nothing happened. So the currency I gave away all mine. Chick Rinku Paralkar kept some. He only gave me that. He said, "You take this." That also is gone. So anyway, so that is one. And then we carried out these strikes. I'll tell you one mission, which I had gone, and I think my number two, I was leading that mission. One of those few missions I
Great.
led. So I was leading that mission, and I was number two. I think something was wrong, and he went, and I was just there for a little while, and I suddenly saw, these bunkers which they build up, quite a few of them, I think, on the banks of the river, or whatever that, what's that river, Meghna or whatever,
Okay.
uh, the big river, Brahmaputra becomes.
It might be, sir, a Brahmaputra because
Yeah,
you're coming from
Brahmaputra.
that side, and
Yeah,
this side is
Brahmaputra.
Meghna. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know where exactly Meghna is, but I keep hearing these names. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, it was Brahmaputra, which came in from Assam. So then when I said, boy, this is good. And normally the army is so well trained, you can never find them. You cannot see them. Difficult to see them. Okay, that's one of the things. So here was, on a platter. So when I came in for my attack, from a front gun attack, and I realized that those bunkers were empty. There's nothing there. They had left it there to fool the enemy or whatever it is, and I said, oh, this is, and I found that for the first time and the only time, my guns jammed. I didn't realize. So then, but when I was
I mean, the
pulling
machine
out of the
guns you had,
dive,
right, sir?
say
In
again,
the aircraft, the machine guns you had, those jammed.
yeah, four of them,
Okay. 4
30
of them
millimeter.
jammed together.
Yeah, the whole circuit probably jammed. So when I was pulling out of this dive, I didn't fire because there's nothing there. There was a big cluster, mangrove type, and I saw some flashes, coming from there. Immediately I realized these guys are inside there, hiding, and concealed, and you can't touch them. But now I can touch them. I said, okay, boy, this is it. I turned the aircraft around and I came in. I said, boy, I'm going to just go one after the other. And whatever was there, at least I was confident I could have written off most of it with my guns. But as I died, I found jammed. So I came, did another one, jammed. So that was one of the frustrating moments. But otherwise, I've never had such jam and all that thing. We attacked targets also on the Brahmaputra, some shipping, small shipping really. And and we didn't go as far as Chittagong, etc. That the squadron from that side did that. So this is what we finally did, and that rest is history. And after the war, there was Indian Airforce Station Dhaka. That is the time I should have gone there and spent some time, chilled. But I never took that opportunity. I mean, we had very good relationship with our commanding officer and all that. Didn't bother, typical fighter pilot. So didn't go. I should have gone there and stayed there for a month or whatever.
Right.
As part of the thing. So never did that. But what we got cover from a lot of people, requests. A lot of these villages in Bangladesh, they wanted to meet the pilots and all that who did all that, which they saw. So they put us in helicopters and we went there, and I just kind of nothing. You just get off and talk to you. Well, I was probably the only one who could talk their language, and they're just came to see you and watch you. That's about it. So that was, I think, in a nutshell, of my contribution 71 war, which I thought was quite significant. I flew many sorties, and I was a absolute youngster, so that made me, and looking back now, it makes me feel so satisfied. But unfortunately, I had to leave the Air Force very early for medical grounds. So that is it.
But I mean, a bit about your life after 71, sir. You stayed in the same squadron, or
after 71, I lost my medical category, and then you have an option to change your branch, that is, go to logistics or admin, or quit. I chose to quit. I said, I'm not going to, do anything else other than this thing, so I quit.
And so you quit as a squadron leader, sir?
Yeah. And actually, I mean, that's why I'm squad leader, because I left when I was 36 or 37 years old.
And the last unit you served was which squadron, sir?
I was in Jamnagar,
Jamnagar,
27 Squadron.
27 squadron.
Then I was in 14 Squadron also for a while.
Okay.
Triple two also.
Triple two. Right, right.
So, as a matter of fact, a few days back, my daughter was here from abroad, and they said, "Let's go to Duars." You know what is Duars? So Duars for holiday and all that. So then they made all bandobast, and then I said, "Duars means let me go to Hashimara." So I rung up a few chaps. You see, with my seniority, I mean, I'm not indirectly, I wouldn't know anybody, but that is the strength and bond of the Air Force. They were overjoyed. The AOC called me, and when are you coming? What do you want? We'll do this, we'll do that. They looked up after us like VVIPs, VVVIPs, there, anything else.
Right.
It works. It was fantastic. I mean, and that made me feel so good, and which I must put on record. That's the services for you. I've never worked with any of them. They're all, naturally.
Yeah.
But that's what they did. And of course, there was one reason why they gave me, and they threw a party, whole station was called. I was even made to speak. And one of the reasons why they gave me, I mean, they were giving it to anyone, is because I was in Hashimara and I flew in the ops from Hashimara. So for them, it was a godsend. So, no, so you must, and so I spoke, I really chat, stimulator, and what have all that interests of flyer. So that was a great experience, I thought. And okay, I left the Air Force, and then I said, as I said, the most useless chaps. I said, what do I do? I'll never get a job. What job will anyone give me? So anyway, so I realized that you might think so, but the world doesn't think. I mean, you'll make an impact. There's no doubt. Now I can tell you that.
Right.
So I joined a company called. The interview. I just shoot off letters. So I was called by this company. You may have heard of the company. The other chap who was there in the same company was Jani Uthup, who passed away a few days back.
Okay.
Usha Uthup's husband, J. Thomas and Company. Old British thing in tea, basically. I worked with them for full 20 years.
Okay.
Actually, I was there with them for more than I was there with the Air Force.
Right.
Then I said, I will never live in Calcutta. I don't like this city. It's, I'm going to go away, And as two fighter pilots, you don't make any plans, nothing. You're just up in the air. So that was my plan. And then I was approached by Bengal Club, and they said, you take over as CEO. I said, okay, yeah, this is all right. So then rest is history. So naturally, once you are there, I worked there for 4 or 5 years. And J. Thomas, I was 20 years, by the way. 4 or 5 years, and then I was done.
Right.
Then I worked with somebody who was doing some aviation consultancy education in the US. He partnered with me to visit schools and all that, and kind of tell them about what aviation offers. Yeah, that's it. Not very exciting, but
most
I think it's
most of your life in the civilian world, but still, people like
no,
like to
you're right. I'll tell you, even so, I'm staying in this big complex. Nobody knows that I was in this, and I was there in a very, very premier company. J. Thomas is a very, very, pakka company.
Right.
So they only know me as an Air Force fighter pilot. They don't even know if I was there. But I also remember my Air Force days far more. I mean, somehow the civilian part is just kind of disappeared into, not that anything was wrong with it, but it doesn't compare to what we went through in the Air Force.
Right. I mean, I think anybody who joins the armed forces after coming back, it's like they would say, like civilian life, we have to get adjusted to it.
Oh yeah, it's big adjustment. Like we have cursed at times, but look at the services. What discipline we have, what work culture we have, and I don't. And that is what is lacking. That is one reason why I wanted to leave, get out of Calcutta. But nothing works here. Nothing happens here.
Right.
The services, what it gives you, I think you realize after you've left it only more than when you were there.
Right.
We are posted all over the place. It didn't make a difference to us. It didn't make. We enjoyed ourselves. We enjoyed ourselves. We were thick, and even now we have reunions. We keep in touch.
That is how it is, sir. I guess in the armed forces.
Yeah, it is.
And would you, would you like to go to Dhaka as a part of the Indian delegation that goes in December every year?
Yes, I'd love to.
Okay.
I would have gone. They approached me also because you see, after all, my connection with Dhaka and especially 71 was much more. Born there, flew so many sorties, everything. I mean, all the right ticks.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't keep too well these days, and I had to kind of, twice. Yeah, I know that they've asked me, why don't you go? I couldn't make it. I didn't make it because of my present health conditions.
Right. That's really nice talking to you, sir. And you're also in Kolkata. I'm also there, so it's like really
But
nice.
keep in touch. Keep in touch if you want to speak to me more about 71 or anything for that matter.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a call. I'll be more than happy to.
It's really
And
nice talking to you, sir. I mean, being a Bengali and is that to born in Dhaka and then taking part from the Indian Airforce
yeah, that's
side
unique.
and fighting.
Yeah, and being a Bengali is another thing because not too many bombs come to these services now. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, very less, very less.
Very few.
Very few. Even in the army, even
Air Force, so almost nothing. Army's got a few, but Air Force,
nobody.
But one thing good that has been taught to us in the services is that
Yeah.
we don't look at differences in color, caste, nothing. Everyone is same.
Right.
It's humanity, which I don't think too many people outside the force looks at it that way. Now there are religious. Again, I'm giving a speech, but religious divide. What is all this? Yeah.
Right.
My friends were from all communities. There was no barrier.
Mm-hmm.
Very good Sardar friends I have.
Right.
So that is it. And then we've had, even while in service, you go through such an exciting life. You lose friends.
Mm-hmm.
More accidents happen during peacetime.
Mm-hmm.
More aircraft are lost.
Oh, right. And
So,
that is one thing. Like your squadron had 2 casualties on the first day itself.
first,
2
not
dead.
day, first 10
First
minutes.
10 minutes, right?
So we said at
dead.
this rate, the whole squadron is written off on day 2, I think. Go day 2, khatam.
Right.
But anyway, no such further casualties.
Right. It happens. That is war itself. Yeah.
Yeah, but at that time you were just in it.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't think anything spectacular was happening. But now when you look back, it was history being rewritten. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the largest surrender and the kind of operations we did. Yeah, Hawk Hunter is a great aircraft. Huh? It's okay, fine. It's all history now. It's a great aircraft. It had a Rolls-Royce engine. Great aircraft.
Right. That's like, I would like to talk to you again someday about the equipment, like the equipment you use, the Hawker Hunter itself, if we are free, of course.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Because now the kind of equipment we have, at least the fighters, is a different generation.
Yeah, it's a completely different generation.
Completely different. But interestingly, they don't fly faster.
Mm-hmm.
They don't go higher. Which doesn't, it doesn't matter if you go faster or higher.
Mm-hmm.
Because the main thing is your technology.
Mm-hmm.
When they upgrade these aircraft,
Mm-hmm.
it takes years.
Yeah.
Because I saw these The Rafales also in close, and it's one of the top aircraft. But still, they need to be upgraded, and it's going to take years.
Yeah.
Research goes into it, integration goes into it, testing goes into it, and even the kind of offers being made by Lockheed and Boeing and all that is they want to give you a suite of upgrades,
Right.
which will include this, and each one has got its own, I mean, it's a different level of technology.
Right. And fortunately, one more thing, sir. In 71, I think, one of the best aircrafts of Pakistan Air Force was on the Western Front, the Mirage 3. They only had Sabres here. No bombers, nothing. Just
Here they are. I told you we were air superiority in 3 days. Even they probably would have loved to have got them here, but they couldn't.
They couldn't.
They were choked up, They couldn't get anything here.
Yeah.
We ensured that nothing came in.
Yeah.
That was part of the war strategy.
Right.
Whether by ship or by air, they were bottled up there.
Right. That is what gave an edge to the Indian Air Force and to the operations in Bangladesh completely, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And mind you, the Navy also played a very important role. Flying, the aircraft carrier was off Chittagong, I think. The submarines were operating. I think there was some action near Vizag. Navy also was also there very much.
Okay.
Army, of course, naturally in its big way.
Right. It's lovely, sir. It's a lovely experience talking to
Okay.
you.
Yeah, nice talking to you. Take care. And get back if you want to know something more, and even otherwise we can meet up sometime.
Sitting with you regarding the Hummer Hunter itself when you are free and everything.
Sure. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, take care. Bye.